Hi, I'm Old Norse specialist Dr. Jackson Crawford. I guess I'm on a little bit of a myth-busting streak this week on my Patreon-supported series of videos about Norse language and myth, because on Wednesday, my main video day, I was talking about the Kensington runestone and the incontrovertible evidence that it's a fake. And today I just want to take a quick moment in my shorter Saturday video to talk about something that the internet is very convinced was important to the Vikings: the concept of Innangard versus Utangard. Now, in fact, these words, Innangard and Utangard, in the form that you'll usually see them on the internet, aren't even found in Old Norse. They are conceivable in Old Norse, but the closest thing you're going to find in Old Norse is a pair of words that you see in law codes in Norway, and then in Norwegian influence law codes in Iceland after the days of the Icelandic Republic. And those words are Innangards and Utangards, spelled that way, and only used adverbially. And they are used in these law codes to distinguish between acts, especially of arson, because if you set a fire innangards, that means inside the house, indoors, that is a much worse crime than if you set a fire utangards, outside of the house, outdoors. There's also, you also run into other provisions for this, that, and the other, indoors and outdoors, often still related to fires. Like, can the fire be put out innangards? So can they just toss water out the window or something to put it out, or does it have to be put out utangards? Then it becomes a much bigger crime. There is no indication that Innangard, Utangard, any words derived from those adverbs like that, had the kind of sacral special significance that people on the internet often claim they did in Old Norse. And this must go back to pre-internet days, although I'm not exactly sure where, because it seems to be a very old idea on the internet. I see references to it from 20 years ago. It's just not there. I think that it's odd that, as rich as the vocabulary of Old Norse is about moral matters, just read something like Havamal, just read any saga and consider the way that people talk about each other and what they do, that anyone would feel the need to make up Old Norse terms for concepts that are important to them. We know concepts that were important to them: hospitality, drengskaper, or manliness. This Innangard Utgard thing is an artificial creation of today. Now, that's not to say that it might not be important to modern Norse pagans, but let's distinguish between what modern Norse pagans do and what we have evidence for from the Middle Ages. I have nothing against modern paganism or Asatru, but we need to make sure that we're not confusing what our old sources say with what modern practitioners who use those old sources make of them, or extrapolate, or even imagine. Well, from beautiful Colorado, as always, let me wish you all the best.